Hi and welcome back. In the next whole bunch of videos, I'm just going to be doing kind of a whole bunch of assorted different examples and problems. And right now I'm studying for my final exam. So my final exam is in about 1 week. And so I'm just going to be doing sort of a whole bunch of examples. So I'll be kind of studying too along with this. So anyway, let's do a whole bunch of different assorted examples. So let's say, to start off with, I gave you an isotope of nitrogen, and this isotope was going to be this 14,7N. So we know that this is going to be nitrogen, partially because we have the symbol for nitrogen, but also because this number here is our atomic number, right? So this number on the bottom is going to be the atomic number. And we know that the atomic number for nitrogen, probably can't see that. There we go. We know that the atomic number for nitrogen is going to be 7. And so this isotope is nitrogen 14. And we know that this number is going to be our atomic mass. So now let me ask you, how many protons? How many protons are going to be in this isotope of nitrogen? Or you could say it's going to be the same number of protons in any isotope of nitrogen, because the protons define what kind of element what kind of element we're looking at. So there are going to be 7 protons. How about this? How many neutrons do we have? So we've got this isotope is nitrogen 14. So our atomic mass is going to be the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So what plus 7 is going to be 14? Well, it's going to be 7, right? Because 7 times 2 is 14. So we know that we also have 7 neutrons in this isotope. How about how many electrons do we have? And this is the neutral. This is a neutral atom. It's not an ion. So we know that the overall charge is going to be neutral. So the number of protons has to equal the number of electrons. So therefore, the number of electrons we are going to have is once again 7. And that was for nitrogen, was what we were dealing with. And specifically, we were dealing with nitrogen 14. So the isotope of nitrogen that had 7 neutrons. Let's do another one of these. So let's say I had sodium, Na. We know that the atomic number on sodium is 11. And let's say this is going to be sodium 23. So that's the isotope that we have got. So how many, find a good color, there we go. So how many protons do we have? Well, it's the same as the atomic number, right? And we have 11 of them, which is the same as the atomic number for sodium. So we have 11 protons. How about how many neutrons do we have? Well, it's going to be this is our number for our atomic mass of this isotope of sodium. So if we subtract 11 from 23, that should give us how many neutrons we have, because the atomic mass is going to be the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. So if we subtract 11 from 23, that would give us 12. So we know that we have 12 neutrons. And then finally, how many electrons do we have? And it's a neutral atom. It's not an ion. So the number of electrons is going to equal the number of protons. So we also have 11 electrons. So anyway, that is this example for this isotope of sodium. Let's do another. How about, let's see, what is this? This is, how about radon? Rn. And this is its atomic number is 86. So that means that this is going to have 86 protons, and that is That is how we know that we have radon. Is that the element, the atoms of radon, all the atoms of radon have 86 protons. And let's say the isotope we have is 222. So this is going to be, that is our isotope. So it says that we have 86 protons, and let's just start writing this down. So protons, we have 86 of them. How many neutrons do we have? So neutrons. Well, it's going to be 222 minus 86, right? So it's going to be, let me just write that down, 222 minus 86. So what would that be? That would be 200 minus 66, so that would be 240 minus 6. So I think that would be, so 240 minus 6, that would be 234, right? So what would that be? If I added that up, that would give me, yeah, that would, oh no, I did something wrong because it's 222. So what should this be? This shouldn't be 234. This should be 230, what's that going to be? So 220, so 220 minus 80 would give us, that would give us 240. And then it would be 242 minus 6. So this would be 236, right? Would that be it? Because then we add 4. Yeah. So this would be 236. Let me actually just double check that. I'll get out my calculator just because I don't want to be misleading you. So we're just going to have 222 minus 86. 130. I was off by not that much. I was off by 100. Sorry about that. 136. And you know, you'll have a calculator on this exam, so you hopefully won't make a mistake that you won't make you shouldn't make any arithmetic mistakes like that, because you should have a calculator for an exam like this. And finally, let's figure out how many electrons do we have. Well, it's a neutral atom. It's not an ion, so we're going to have the same number of electrons as we do protons. So that means we are going to have 86 electrons. So anyway, actually, you know what? We've got enough time. Let's do one more of these. I can try to redeem myself for making that arithmetic mistake. So this is going to be lead, Pb, and that has an atomic number of 82, and it is right down here. And the isotope we have got is lead 208. So this is our isotope. So how many, let's start out with how many protons. Protons, we have got 82. It's the same as the atomic number. How many neutrons? Well, it's going to be 208. It's going to be 208 minus 82. So that would be, what would that be? That would be 200. That would be 200 minus 80. So that would be So that would be 120. So we could say 128 minus 2, or 126. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and get out the calculator to make sure I didn't make any stupid mistakes. 208 minus 82. Yep, 126. And finally, let's figure out the number of electrons. So, and once more, it's a neutral atom. It's not an ion, so the number of electrons will equal the number of protons. So we will have 82 electrons. And it looks like I'm pretty much out of time, so hopefully you found this useful. In the next bunch of videos, I'm just going to be doing examples like this, and I'll probably vary the order. So I'll probably take these, you know, from the do examples more or less out of order from the way the concepts were presented in the rest of the playlist, just so you can kind of exercise doing these, you know, so you can kind of not necessarily you can hopefully develop mastery without having to go in chronological order of how we learn these concepts in the first place. So anyway, and as always for these examples, I'd recommend, I'll write an example down and then try to solve the problem yourself, and then unpause the video and see if we both got the same answer. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in a future video.